everyone, welcome to a new video. I thought I'd do a video about what's in my camera bag. So let's just first talk about where I came from. I originally started on the 600D about 5 years ago, moved to the 80D, then the 90D, also picked up the 7D Mark II that we're filming on, and I've done a bit of an upgrade in a lot of my equipment recently. In the past year I've upgraded to mirrorless. I've kept some existing EF lenses, but I've also done some upgrades. So what I'm going to do is talk about what I've got here, and hopefully it'll give you an idea of what you might want to do in terms of your upgrade path. So the first upgrade I got was the Eos R Mirrorless camera. It's the equivalent of the 5D Mark IV digital SLR. It's a great camera, great workhorse. It's limited in its frames per second, which it maxes out at 8 frames per second or 5 tracked. And it does have a 1.7 crop in 4K video, so it is a little bit limited in that regard. Then I wanted to upgrade to the Eos R6. This is fantastic for doing wildlife photography and sports, because it has eye tracking, wildlife tracking. Now it's been updated with the latest firmware of 1.5, which means I can track vehicles and people wearing helmets and goggles in vehicles as well. So the R6, well, it's quite expensive at £2,600. That's what I paid for it. It's been recently discounted to £2,400. Incidentally, Canon have lowered the price of the Eos R to about £1,400, but you can purchase these even cheaper on eBay. So those are my main mirrorless cameras. They're full frame. I wanted to go to full frame because it's sharper than APS-C is, typically speaking, especially when you account for using full frame glass. So those are the cameras that I've got. So let's talk about the lenses. So one of the first lenses I got was the EF 50mm 1.8, great for low light situations, and it's a fantastic all-around lens, and 50mm is considered what your normal perspective is. So if you want to video or film anything with your own perspective, 50mm is the way to go. And the Nifty 50, as it's called, is so cheap. Now there is an RF version of this which is about 230 quid, but you can pick up the EF version a lot cheaper for about 80 to 100 pound. So another lens I picked up was the 24 to 105 Stm Lens. It's not weather sealed, but it is a fantastic lens. The aperture is 3.5 to 5.6, and it's a good all-purpose lens. Love it. Then I decided that I needed to get something that was wide angle. So I have recently acquired this off eBay for around £500, which is a 16 to 35mm f4 all the way through lens. Great for doing vlogs on full frame, also portraiture, landscape, and even indoor photography, because the f4 does afford you some good light gathering capabilities. Another lens I use quite often is the Canon infamous 100 to 400 Mark II L lens. At some point I am contemplating selling some of my equipment to acquire the 100 to 500 RF f7.1 lens. Now it's a darker aperture, granted, however it's more reach, but I have other lenses for that. So we've got ourselves covered from 16mm to 105, and I want to talk about this lens. I don't use it very often, but this is the 2.8 70 to 200 Mark II L lens, image stabilized at 4 stops, and minimum focus 1.2 meters. Great lens for indoor photography, weddings, that sort of thing. Great lens. So let's talk about other telephoto lenses I've got, because there are quite a lot of different ones here. So we have the RF 600mm with a minimum focus of 4.5 meters, and it does extend, so we can unlock it and open it. That's our 600mm RF lens. Reasonably good, sharp, great for video, Stabilization is fantastic, love it, no problems with that lens, and it's really great. The reason that prompted me to buy the 600 RF was this lens here. Here we have the RF 800, minimum focus is 6 meters, quite huge. Does extend just the same. However, that 6 meters is huge, so that's what prompted me to get the smaller brother, which allows me to focus quite a bit closer at 4.5 meters. Even 4.5 meters is quite a lot though. So another lens that I've got on top of that is this bad boy here, the Sigma Contemporary 150-600. Minimum focus is 2.8 meters, significantly sharper than the Tamron G2 lens. It's probably a tiny bit sharper than even the Sport version of this. Sport is better weather sealed, obviously. So that's my lens lineup. Obviously we've got some extenders here, 1.4 EF extender there, 2 times extender there. And what you can do, and a lot of people do tend to compare this, is we've got the 70-200 where we can put the 2 times extender on, and then obviously we have the 100-400 Mark II. And people do tend to compare these two lenses and think, I can use this setup, so I don't need to buy that. The only problem is, with a 2 times extender, your autofocus is reduced in speed significantly. So personally, I'd recommend getting the 100-400, or if you can afford it, get the RF 100-500. So this is more or less the lens setup I've got, and you know, this is what I've upgraded most of my equipment to. So in terms of low light situations, we would have the 2.8 70-200. We would have the 100-400 f5.6, and then the Sigma, which is 6.3, a bit darker, but that goes all the way to 600mm. However, when light improves and you think you're going to get a reasonable high shutter speed, even coming down to f11, you would probably want to consider using the 600 RF with its minimum focus of 4.5 meters and the 800 at 6 meters. So in good light, I would certainly recommend using the 600 RF lens and the 800 RF lens respectively, because you know, the f11 aperture, which is quite dark, isn't a major issue in bright sunlight. However, when it gets quite dark, you might want to be using something with a brighter aperture, such as a 6.3 Sigma lens that we've got here, or probably even the Canon 100-400, which has an aperture of 5.6. Now, a lot of people have been criticising the 100-500 RF lens because it has a dark aperture of 7.1. But keep in mind that the modern day mirrorless cameras have great high ISO ratings, so they're not limited. You can actually autofocus even at f16 with these new cameras. It's not the issue it is for digital SLRs, because your digital SLRs bottom out at f8. You can't autofocus below f8, unfortunately. So if you come down to f10, f11, f16, digital SLRs will not autofocus. So that's why the mirrorless system has an advantage over the digital R systems. And obviously with the adapter, like I've got on this R6, we can adapt any EF lens really well onto the mirrorless system. Now there has been noticed that there is an issue with focus from time to time when you're focusing on something near and you try and focus on something far or back and forth. If the background is really busy with, let's say, trees, ferns, you might struggle to acquire autofocus. So in those instances, when that actually happens, you just need to go to the focus ring and just move it slightly, and then it'll tell the camera that when you press the autofocus to reacquire focus, and it should acquire focus quicker and achieve the focus you wanted in the first place. That's the only small technical issue with the mirrorless cameras, that sometimes they struggle on trying to isolate your subject matter if the background's busy. However, if you adjust the focus ring slightly, you can manually make the camera rethink and refocus. So that's the only issue I've noticed with the mirrorless system that you don't tend to get with digital SLRs. You know, the next lens I'm thinking of upgrading to is the 100 to 500 RF lens, but that would require a significant amount of investment, which would probably mean I would probably have to sell the 100 to 400, the 600 RF and the Sigma Contemporary 150 to 600 just to get near to affording the 100 to 500 RF lens, because £2,900 in the UK is a lot of money. Even someone selling it on eBay, I saw someone sell it for £2,800. That is still a huge amount of money, which in effect is just a zoom lens with a variable aperture. It's not a prime lens. To put it in context, you could buy the 500 Mark 1 f4 lens for about £2,500 to £3,000. It gives you a good idea that you could buy an L 500 prime lens for probably less money than that zoom lens. That's something to think about. Anyway, I hope this demonstration of the equipment I've got here in terms of telling you what's in my camera bag is helpful. And just before you go, guys, I'm doing a bit of a giveaway. When I bought my 16 to 35mm lens, it came with a lens hood that didn't fit, which sort of annoyed me, and it's probably not worth me sending it back. So I've decided to keep that lens. You may have seen a recent video of me ranting about it. Now, it came with a lens hood for the 24 to 105 f4 L lens, EW-83H lens hood. So as a giveaway, because I don't need it, I'm going to give it away. So for you guys out there, all I'm going to ask you to do is leave a comment in the comments box, or go onto the Facebook page that I've got, which is Canon Lenses and Cameras. I'll put a link in the description box. Providing you're over 18, I will give that away to anyone for free. All you have to do is put your name in the comments box and tell me what do you love about photography. The best person gives the best answer will win the lens hood. I think what I may do is take all the names of people that left comments and put it in a box and then pull out a name and you'll be the winner. I think we'll do that in the next video. So that's the giveaway. A lens hood for if you own a 24 to 105 lens and you say need an extra lens hood. This is a generic one, it's not the original Canon one. I will give that away for free as a giveaway. I just providing you're over 18, you can enter the competition for that. Anyway, I just want to say to all my subscribers, I really appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and those of you who have not subscribed to my photography channel, please do so, because it would really help me out to get more subscribers. As for my main channel, Technology Advisor 1, that many of you have subscribed to, I've gone over the 3,000 threshold, and I would like to say a big thank you to everyone that does like my content. I know not everyone likes what I do, and I do get some criticism from time to time, but I just want to say I do appreciate your comments, and if you want to give me a pat on the back just to say well done for doing the video, just all you have to do is leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. If you can like the video, I would really appreciate it. I hope you have a good day and a good Christmas, as Christmas is just around the corner, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll be doing another giveaway. I just want to show you what we have here. This is a EF and EFS electronic macro extension tube, 20mm, a 13mm, 36mm and 25mm extension tube. They're quite cheap, they're not obviously free, they're about £20 these. I'm going to give that out as a giveaway in a follow-up video at some point. So keep tuned out for that, because I think we'll do a giveaway for that at some point. because I don't use it, I might as well give it away to you guys. Anyway, thanks for your time, have a nice day, and please, you know, I don't like to beg, but please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!